Hi, this is Karen, and I'm here to show you how to manage your templates. So let's create a really quick new bill sheet. Drones is always a good topic, and I'll do it across the whole country, and we will actually just look for bills that have the word drones. All right. So now I've got my bill sheet, and the standard template gives me the bill number and the name and other basic information, but maybe I want to add my own comments, or maybe I would like some different information. So I am going to come up here and say Manage Templates. So I will look at the bill template first, and this gives me a list of all of the available columns. And so you can see there's a lot of different information that you can pick from for different columns you want to have in your template. And you can create your own columns as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And so I'm going to create a text column and call it Karen Notes. You can have as many columns as you want. So if you have several different people, they can each have their own columns, and that way you keep everything organized in one place. But there's also other options. You can make your columns a number if you want to give it a priority and you want it to sort like it's a number, or if you want to do a date, like to note for yourself the last time you went and read the bill, or when the effective date of the bill is, or whatever else you might want to add. If you make it a date, it'll sort like dates. A URL link column will let you add both the link and the text you want to appear that gets clicked on. And a drop-down column actually lets you make your own drop-down list. So if I switch to a drop-down column here, I can say yes and no and maybe, and then that will make each one of these a choice in my drop-down list. So that's a nice way to keep everybody using the same options, or to save yourself time if you do a lot of data entry. So you might do that to indicate a different level or whatever. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make this new column this way. So I've got myself a new text column. All of the user columns appear all the way at the bottom. So these are alphabetical, and then it starts with the alphabet over again for the user created columns. All right, so I've got my Karen Notes right here. Now, the second step is I've got my actual template which is my collection of columns. So I've got this default one that everybody has. You can just edit that, or I can create a new template and use different templates for different people, or for different reasons, or for different clients, or I could make one to assign to maps, or one to assign to stakeholder pages for how I want to share stuff on the web, etc. So you can actually create as many templates as you want. I'm going to go ahead and just edit this default one. All right, so I can give it a name. I'm going to leave it named default, and I can pick what of these columns I want. So maybe I don't really care who the sponsors are. I can click the bill to find that out. I'm not that interested in how many actions or versions there were, but I do want the name and whatnot. And now I'm going to say, you know what? I would be interested in maybe the introduced session, because this is going to go across several years. And maybe I want to put in the bill progress to show like if it's introduced or passed. Maybe I'm interested in adding my position, and this created column is when the date was, or when the bill was put into our database. So that lets you see when bills came in, so you can sort and see everything that showed up since last time you looked. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on this new custom column I made as well. Now notice I can change the width of these. So if I don't think I need 100 characters for the bill ID, I can make it narrower, or if I would like some more space for my comments, I can make that wider. And maybe I would like my comments to actually be up here, so I can just drag this around. So let me put it right up there. I could also say always sort it by the state code, or maybe I would like to have the newest bills on top. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to save this. All right, so now if I go back to my drone bill sheet, I've got all these new columns. So now I've got my notes right where I put it. I've got which session it was, because I added that in. Those other columns are gone. Now I have created, so this is the newest bill in this particular list of bills. On down, I can see when they were added to the database. And if I want to actually write notes, I just double click, and it opens up, and it'll let me fill out all of my different columns. So I can put love this bill, and then I can say that I'm supporting it and save. So anybody that now looks at this bill sheet will see these comments. All right, so that is how you manage a template. Same thing for regulations. So there's also the regulations templates. And so that is manage regulation templates. And if I open up one of these, I've set them up with quite an elaborate template. So you can see I've given myself a bunch of different fields. So for the regulations, I wanted to know what the agency was. I put my own summary in here. I added some date fields for when the comments are due. This is what it looks like when I add a link. So this is the actual text that will appear. This is where it will go, etc. So you can make a pretty elaborate set of stuff. And then this is what it's going to look like as I go. So the links will look like this. And of course, you can use these templates to create stakeholder pages. You can use these templates to feed into your map. And that sort of thing, so that any place where you're sharing a set of columns, you can use one of these templates to say which columns you want to share in that particular situation. I hope that was helpful. Thanks.